Trump is managing the markets. That's what this 90-day pause is. But the thing that is very concerning is how he's managing this. So Scott Bessent, Howard Lutnick, these are his Treasury and Commerce secretaries, Trump's. They sat down when Trump saw the bond market crashing, and they're like, oh, we need to manage this, so let's do the 90-day pause. The way that they did the 90-day pause was to craft a Truth Social tweet blame shifting China for all of this, right? And Stephen Miller, the White House advisor, who's also fucking like avowed racist, like he was on the Sunday shows and he was also pinning all of this on China ultimately, even before this new pivot from Trump. So China was going to be the target from the start, disproportionately of the global tariff regime. That's why they had 54% tariffs, right? Where most countries got only 10%. And the Truth Social post is just dripping with vitriol, saying China's screwing us, China's a threat, and this is dealing with it's the national securitization of the tariffs, which is that's nothing new. But Lutnick said that Lutnick, Scott Bessent, and Trump sat together and crafted that Trump Truth Social tweet. So the anti-China pivot was a bit of an improvisation, it sounds like, but it was an improvisation that they sort of crafted strategically together on the spot. It's Trump's words, I guess. But the idea is that like they are trying to say that the world can get a deal and get their individual countries' tariffs relieved if they help expunge China from the global economy, if they can help the American primacy project of kneecapping China, right? This is the bargain that's on the table right now. And this is not going to work. There's onesie-twosie countries that might find this enticing on some level, especially if they're run by like reactionary governments, you know? But this shit is not going to work. And like America doesn't have the cards to be doing what it's doing on economic policy, on economic statecraft, especially on Asia, especially relative to China, you know? So like Adam Posen had a piece in Foreign Affairs where he basically made this same argument. I've been arguing this for years, but it's like America doesn't have the cards to do what it's trying to do, you know? And there's going to be there's going to be a cost of that, you know? And so basically, like, if you look at the situation rationally, the U.S. market makes up 15% of Chinese exports. That's if China lost that access to the U.S. completely, it would still be a powerhouse. That would be a decline in growth rates, of course, but it's manageable, and it becomes more manageable as China and other countries diversify away from the United States. And that's the big trend that seems to kind of be happening. So in the Biden years and in Trump 1.0 years, there was a lot of talk about economic diversification as the subtext being like diversification away from China. And that's not the diversification anymore that is the priority. The priority is to diversify away from the U.S.